Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Wednesday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the heat and smoke forecast for the next couple of days. So starting here with the UW satellite loop, you can see here that we had some fog across the entirety of Western Washington and Western Oregon this morning, and it is now burning off very quickly. You can see some of it remaining across parts of the lowlands, but it should be a mostly sunny day today. So let's take a look at the advisories that we have up right now. All the areas in purple here are an excessive heat warning. That does include Portland, the Willamette Valley, and parts of southwest Washington. And then all of this orange is a heat advisory. So if we're taking a look at the metro area here, that's in effect from 8 a.m. Thursday to 11 p.m. Friday. Basically the duration of this heat wave. So now let's take a look at the overall pattern. This is the system here that's dominating our weather. This is a high pressure ridge that's going to bring this heat wave. You can see on Thursday it's centered directly to our north over British Columbia. This is a good pattern to bring a heat wave to Western Washington and Oregon. And then as we go through Friday, that ridge starts to move off to the east but remains dominant over our north. And then as we go into Saturday and Sunday and into Monday, you can see there is troughing offshore, which could bring cooler conditions and some more fall-like weather, but that's pretty far out that we're going to have to keep watching over the next couple of days. So taking a look at the high temperatures here, you can see that this is today, so Wednesday. So from Seattle northward today, we're likely going to be in the mid 70s to mid to upper 70s there. Cold, a little bit cooler near the water, maybe in the upper 60s. Seattle southward likely in the upper 70s to low 80s, maybe the mid 80s from Chehalis southward. And then the coast is going to start warming up. Mostly sunny with highs in the low 70s on the beaches and the upper 70s to low 80s inland. Going to Thursday, this is going to be our hottest day. You can see highs from Seattle northward in the upper 70s to low 80s west of I-5, and east of I-5 likely in the mid 80s to low 90s. From Seattle east and south, highs will likely be in the upper 80s to mid 90s. Hottest in the foothills and from Olympia southward and in the Shelton area as well. And the Kitsap Peninsula will also be in the upper 80s to low 90s. And then take a look at the coast tomorrow. That's some serious heat out there with highs on the beaches in the upper 70s to mid 80s, hottest from Westport southward. And then inland near Raymond and Hoquiam, highs there in the upper 80s to low 90s. And then as we go into Friday, you can see some relief on the coast down to the low 70s on the beaches, upper 70s inland. But here in the lowlands, highs will reach the upper 70s to mid 80s again from Seattle northward, and the mid 80s to low 90s from Seattle southward. And then on Saturday, you can see that we still remain warm from Seattle south in the low to mid 80s, cooling further down to the mid to upper 60s on the coast, 70s inland. And then from Seattle northward on Saturday, highs reach the mid 70s to low 80s, and will likely be in the upper 70s to low 80s for the UW Huskies game on Saturday afternoon. So then let's take a look here at the forecast for Southwest Washington and the Portland metro area, which includes Vancouver, Washington. Today, highs will likely be in the low to mid 90s. This might be a little bit too warm with some of the clouds they had this morning, not allowing some of that heating. But then from Chehalis southward today in the mid to upper 80s. But take a look at tomorrow. These are some significant temperatures. This is just really not normal for September. And we'll take a look at that in a minute here. But you can see Portland is possibly going to reach 102 degrees tomorrow, with same possible over Vancouver and Ridgefield, parts of southwest Washington there. From Chehalis southward, temperatures will likely be in the mid to upper 90s. And as we go through Friday, you can see cooling a little bit. Chehalis in the low 90s, Kelso in the mid 90s, and the Portland metro likely in the upper 90s. Though this could be impacted by smoke, and we'll also take a look at that here coming up. And then as we go through Saturday, you can see mid to upper 80s from Chehalis southward and low 90s around Vancouver and Portland. So now taking a look at just how much above average these temperatures are. This is the 2-meter temperature anomaly for Thursday, and you can see for most of the lowlands from Tacoma northward, these temperatures will be 10 to 15 degrees above average. And then from Tacoma southward through Portland, these are 20 to 25 degrees above average. And also notice that they're on the coast up to 30 degrees above average. So this is very significant across the entirety of the Northwest. And as we go into Friday here, you can see even more above average, 15 to 20 degrees above average for most of the lowlands, 20 to 25 to maybe even 30 degrees above average from Tacoma to Portland. So this is pretty significant, and this is not something we see very often in September. Now let's take a look at the other thing we're looking at, though, the smoke. The previous system we had, the upper level low, brought strong winds and increased fire activity over central and eastern Oregon, and that kicked up a lot more smoke that's going to start moving into the area. So this is vertically integrated smoke, basically smoke aloft that does not impact air quality. And we're taking a look at basically just how much there's going to be in the air. And as we go through this evening, you can see a lot of smoke aloft over southwest Washington and the Willamette Valley, and some over western Washington. But as we go through Wednesday evening into early Thursday morning, you see that smoke aloft starts to drift northward. By the time we get to Thursday night, this is sunset Thursday, and you can see this around 8 p.m. that smoke aloft is across most of western Washington and southwest Washington, especially getting some heavy concentrations of that. And as we go into early Friday morning, you can see that smoke aloft thickens over the Seattle metro area and starts to impact the entirety of western Washington. Probably be some pretty hazy skies with a red tint as we wake up on Friday morning. And then taking a look now at surface smoke here, you can see a little bit of surface smoke across eastern Washington today, and we'll see that on the air quality map here in a second. But as we go through today, you can see a little bit of surface smoke in the Portland area, and then that starts to move northward into Washington through, this is now 3 p.m. Thursday, and you can see really from Olympia southward and in some of the Cascades and on some of the coast out from Westport south, you could be smelling some of that smoke, and there could be some slightly degraded air quality. Air quality in the Kelso and Portland areas could get down to unhealthy for sensitive groups. And then you can see as we go through early Friday morning, that surface smoke moves into the Cascades a little bit more up toward King County and is impacting the Olympics and some of the coast and southwest Washington as well. So we're going to be watching that closely over the next couple days. And just taking a look here, it doesn't look like our air quality map is loading, but trust me when I say, oh, there we go. Now we got it. You can see air quality is mostly good across the area. A little bit of higher air quality readings there for some of the metro area, and then you can see that surface smoke over eastern Washington, dropping air quality into the moderate category. And just a reminder, there's some pretty dangerous fire weather conditions out there. We got a fire weather watch, that tan color, in effect for all of the Cascades and the Olympics, and a red flag warning for wind around the Columbia River Gorge. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and share this video. We've got a lot to talk about over the next couple days, and it'll be great to help Western Washington weather grow. Thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.